Okay, welcome to Smarter Circuits, the podcast. Ian Klein is who I am, and Smarter Circuits is what I do. Today I want to talk about next Friday. I am going to be doing a Black Friday special sort of thing, which may not actually happen on Friday. If I am not able to find the time on Friday, I will probably be doing the episode on Saturday. But that's okay because I'm not looking for specific sales or anything, and I'm not going to be talking about what's big on Cyber Monday or anything like that. If I find something amazing, I'll pass it on. But that's not the focus. The focus is on what we're buying and what we should buy, and maybe what we shouldn't buy, and trends, and maybe not following those. And of course, I want to talk about you know, owning what you buy, trying to find things that don't require cloud services and that sort of thing. Also, I'm going to be doing something that I have not done before. Well, at least not on this site. I am going to be making a purchase on AliExpress, maybe more than one. I have bought from similar sites, but I've never actually bought anything from AliExpress. So, I would like to know what your experiences are with AliExpress, good, bad, or ugly. Let me know either in the YouTube comments, or you can email me at smartercircuits@gmail.com, or you can jump on the Discord and direct message me. Also, if you would like your project showcased, do the same thing. The reason I bring that up is because I actually have a project to showcase this week. And when I showcase these things, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about them. I'm going to share what they are at a sort of high level, and then give you all the information you need to go and check out their project for yourself. So if you do want to submit a project, I highly recommend having a video or article, blog post, something explaining, what you did, how you did it, and how somebody else might be able to do it. Okay, this week's project showcase is from somebody from the Discord, very active member, Ben C. or Ben Koss, or I don't know if it's supposed to be Ben Coes, not sure, but Ben, anyhow. Ben built an ADSB receiver, which stands for Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast, and it is for tracking aircraft. Now, I realize not everybody's going to be into this sort of thing, but if you are into this sort of thing, or maybe you're looking for something new to be interested in, maybe check it out. I will link to Ben's blog at electronenclave.com in the description, specifically to the ADSB receiver build. And if you want to do this, there are a lot of other folks that will help you do this at airplanes.live and on their Discord as well. They have a Raspberry Pi image that is used in the guide for setting up Raspberry Pi, I believe it's a Raspberry Pi 3, with a software-defined radio, an SDR. SDRs are really, really neat. I want to get into playing with them more. I'm probably going to try doing this thing at some point. I'll do a video on it. I'm not going to do it in the winter, but maybe next spring or summer, I'd like to try this. So I'm not sure what the cost is. I would imagine, I'm going to guess between $100 and $150, and that might be on the high side. I'd have to look. I guess I could look. Let me go to airplanes.live. I'm going to reject those things. Okay, build a new device. Okay, power supplies, which, those are, I don't know. We'll call that $10. We'll call the Raspberry Pi, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what a Raspberry Pi runs right now. 3 anyway. So let's say you wanted to buy a 3. Okay, $35. You can get one for $35. We'll call it 40. So $50 for a power supply and Raspberry Pi. Throw on another 10, $20, call it $20 for an SD card of significant size and speed. And then you need a signal filter. I don't know if you need the signal filter. I don't remember seeing that in the article. But it looks like there are also a lot of antenna choices. The site here says commercially produced options range from $5 to $200 US. So, and obviously one of the that's definitely one of those you get what you pay for kind of things. And I think that a lot of that will probably affect range more than anything in this case, because I believe there's quite a bit of error correction involved. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me. Read Ben's article. Better than I did, apparently. So, yeah, this one says, okay, DSP 1090. I'm looking for the antenna choices. There we go. I think the one that I was looking at was this one. Okay, $34. $35. So yeah, I mean between 100 to 150, you could spend upwards of probably $3 to $350, but not super expensive for the thing that it is. And if you're the kind of person that does that sort of thing, you're used to spending around that for this kind of project anyhow. And that's a little bit on the cheaper side, honestly. So yeah, check out Ben's blog. Check out his project. Thank you, Ben, for sharing. And keeping us up to date on the Discord. It's cool stuff. We like seeing that. I want to do a lot more with radio stuff at some point. So Ben did another thing. I don't know if Ben's going to do a write-up on this, but Ben did a Meshtastic as well, and I want to do one of those. I know several people who have done that, and I think it's really neat. I'm going to get into it at some point. Not that it's necessarily automation related, but I don't know. It's a backup. So redundancy, backups, security, communications, all of that should be on your mind when you're planning out any automation, really, particularly home automation, because you never know. Something is going to fail. Murphy's Law definitely applies here. Okay, so let's see. I talked about the Black Friday thing. I talked about the AliExpress thing. Again, let me know what your AliExpress experiences are. Send me that stuff. That'd be great. Also, if you are listening to the podcast, watching the videos, enjoying the stuff, let me know, please. I'm not just doing this because of the engagement thing. I would like to know the things that you are interested in. And you only really have a couple ways of letting me know. If you don't want to do the comments thing, feel free to send me an email. Okay. Talked about the assistants. I do not like smart speakers. Did I talk about this? I've done multiple takes of this episode, so I apologize. I want to talk about something that I won't talk about, and that is smart speakers, voice assistants. I'm not against voice assistants necessarily. It's the ones that are offered by the big tech companies that require their servers and services. And, maybe they deprecate it in a couple years when they don't really have to. My example there would be the Google Home Mini that I have, although I think it still would work, sort of. There's some things it's not capable of doing that the newer ones are, but doesn't matter. The thing that I don't like is that it's sending that data elsewhere. And, maybe it seems innocuous. Maybe it's anonymized data. But ultimately, it goes to serve a more insidious purpose. And I don't really want to participate. Also, I don't want to have to depend on my internet connection to always be present just so that I can use a light switch that is in the same building in which I occupy. And I certainly don't want to have to pay somebody a subscription to unlock functionality of something, for something. And I don't want something to fail not because its physical hardware failed, but because some service got discontinued. I can't even believe that we've allowed that to be a thing. And we have allowed that to be a thing because somebody's buying it. and using it. And it's really, don't. Even if you can hack it. So I'm going to say something that's probably a little controversial. Even if you can hack the device, I would not buy that device because you're encouraging that company. They don't necessarily know. They know people are hacking their devices. They don't know the percentages. And even if they did, they wouldn't really care. They would keep doing the thing that they were doing just for whatever percentage it is of people who they essentially dupe. And then double dupe by getting into their premium services. Now, if you are paying for any of those kinds of things or using those things, and you understand these risks and you don't care or you don't feel that it's a threat to you and everything, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So long as you're thinking, that's fine. If you're not thinking, I'm not sure how you got here. But anyway, I don't like these devices. There are a lot of devices. The reason that I pick on these specific devices and say that I won't cover them is because I'm not going to purchase them. If somebody sent me them, I would not, well, I don't know, I would probably test it. I'd probably isolate it, test it, and then immediately disconnect it and make sure that it didn't have any batteries. Not, th- and I don't want to sound too overly paranoid, but I feel like in when it comes to data and information about me or my habits or my home, even the tiniest bit seems too much to allow because it could become something bigger later. By letting them, sort of slip here and slip there, eventually you end up with, you know, Android and iPhone and nothing else, or one internet provider in your area that's really the only practical choice. Maybe you have two, but these are not. I hate being cornered by these companies, especially when they're taking these proprietary approaches. Because here's the thing, I live in a house that was built in the 1950s, and it has a low voltage system. Well, it had a low voltage system in it. I've converted it into my smart home. It's how the whole channel started. Go back to the first episode if you don't know. But anyway, this low voltage system, as it turns out, even though it was sort of a higher end thing, and a lot of people considered it to be a bit of a novelty, maybe it is, it could have been a lot more if companies had cooperated a little bit. If standards had been created that everybody kind of followed for sake of the customer continuing to buy the product and there being a market to compete in, because what eventually happened is it went away. This is not the only reason, but it is a very large reason. And this is not the only market or industry that applies to. It's just the one that I can speak to readily. The point is, if companies continue to try to get you into their ecosystem and lock you into their ecosystem, it's never going to become a regular thing that maybe gets built in to our homes. That may seem crazy, but there are a lot of relays, the physical relay itself, that would probably outlast a lot of the light switches in most homes. It can be done. Now, I'm not saying that every relay that's out there for smart home stuff is like that. I think that we should be using a little bit more industrial stuff, but sometimes there really are ones that would probably last. And if we held them to a certain standard and we made it so that they were interchangeable, that would induce competition. It would increase quality, and it would also increase the amount people were willing to pay for that quality, and then the whole circle repeats itself. But that's just my opinion. I think that companies would do well to move in a direction that makes smart relays as common as light switches or TV remotes. TV remotes are a great example of automation. That doesn't seem like it, but it is. It saves you a trip at least. And again, not going to speak to the laziness factor because, you know, I did not shear any sheep or spin any thread nor sew any fabric for the clothing that is on my back, and so I must be lazy. Anyway, the next thing I wanted to talk about, I have right to repair here. I always talk about right to repair, and I think that I think I noted that for the don't buy stuff that people won't let you fix or mod. I am so with Louis Rossmann on pretty much everything. The ceiling fan. He talks about a ceiling fan at one point that's like, your ceiling fan needs internet connectivity. Why? Yes, mind-boggling. Also, I love the stuff that he has done for Right to Repair. It's awesome. If I buy a thing, it's mine. Okay? If you're not clever enough as a business to come up with, something valuable to make money, like if you're not adding value in any way, shape, or form, what is even the point of you? I know the answer to that question. It's to make money, and it's going to keep working, I'm sure. But I don't know. We need to enable it less. Again, stop spending money with the companies that make these things because you're encouraging them. Every dollar spent, somebody told me once, a very early boss of mine told me that every dollar spent is a vote for that company. And that's absolutely 100% true, even if it's just a vote of confidence, which we definitely shouldn't have in some of these places. Anyway, and that's not even talking about the malicious stuff. I'm just talking about the incompetence. If you stack the maliciousness on top of the incompetence, I mean, oof. Which is why I like companies. I do not get paid to say this. I have no agreements with Shelly, but it's why I like Shelly, because their product is pretty straightforward. It's a pretty high quality product. It's not the cheapest, not the most expensive. Does everything I need it to do. They don't save my data, even if I use their app. So in case you don't know that, Shelly's app do not retain your data. So yeah, I think that everybody should be that way. Shelly's obviously killing it. So, and or should be, I think they are. They're certainly killing it overseas. I think they're just now starting to kill it here. All right. Really, that's I think all I had for this episode. I realize that this has not been anywhere near as long as I thought I was going to be per episode. And part of that is just because everything is kind of all over the place. I guess I can talk real quick, about what I am doing video-wise. Nothing. That's not true. I'm mostly working on scripts right now, and I have a few things on the workbench that I'm testing. That's just going to take me a while to test. So there's some things that I want to talk about at some point. I want to talk about I want to have a protocols video. I will be doing a Christmas light video. Hopefully before Christmas. I just broke my tripod. I was sitting here fiddling because I have to. And for those of you who are on the audio, just imagine it in your head, a two-legged tripod for like one of those little sit-on-desk cell phone kind of tripods. I was using it for my webcam, and now I'm not. Anyway, well, that was disappointing. And on that note, no. I forgot what I was talking about now because I broke my tripod. Anyway, I'm working on scripts. I'm working on some research. I will be doing the Christmas light video. I will be doing the Christmas lights hopefully before Christmas. I have actually built the thing that I want to show you guys, but now I have to build another one and record it this time. I did a bunch of stuff outside. Maybe I'll cut in video. Probably not. I've done a whole bunch of stuff to the house. I'm not quite done yet, but I could have recorded a lot of it, and I didn't because I just wanted to get it set up before it got too cold. The cold has just moved in, but it's supposed to move out for like a few days next week, and then we're right back at it. But I will be ahead of the game. I won't have to go out in the cold this year. I hope. So, if you are still here, thank you very much for being here. I just broke another one. Okay. I feel like I have to break the third one now. You can't, no, see, you can't do this. There we go. Okay. I have broken the third one. It is now a no-legged tripod, and I now have 3 telescopic legs that go to nothing. Super useful. I'm sure I'll hang on to those. Anyway, if you are still here, thank you very much. We have a very limited supply of minutes, and we don't even know what our total is. And you spent some of yours with me, and I do actually appreciate that. I say that in every video. I say that in every episode because I mean it for real. It's cool. Thank you for supporting me. This is a really cool thing. I love doing this. And I do hope you'll join me next week when I talk about shopping and stuff, hopefully Friday, maybe Saturday, as I continue exploring smarter circuits.